Hello everyone. Today we are talking about the books I'm going to read in October. This is the month of horror, and most of the authors out there read horror. I also going to read horror, of course. To be honest, all of them are horror, and all are set in that period of time. So it's going to be Halloween nights, autumn nights, and so on. So without further ado, let's start. So my first two books are going to be James Amour stuff, which is going to be Harvest Moon and This Is Halloween. James Amour is a great author of horror. I've read a couple of novels by him. I've got 10 more to read or so. I've got bought like a series by Macabre Inc. that they published quite recently. So, and these two stories are set in Halloween, and I'm going to read it. This is an anthology. Not going to give much information about that. Great cover, and this one is not an anthology, it's a series about a town that supposedly is all good and well, Badland Woods, and then there is some kind of hidden stuff behind and monsters and so on. I've not read this novel. I have not read any of these novels. They're all new for me, but I read the back cover, of course. And I'm going to tell you about those just because, I guess I'm doing this on the 12th of September, so maybe you can see something that you're interesting to read in this period of time, so maybe you can purchase before them. All of these novels, bar one or two, they are probably Amazon, so yeah. So these are the first two books. Third book is from an author I didn't knew about him. I just bought, as I said, James Amour novels, and there are some brief introduction by some authors, and one of them was this author, and this author is was probably one of the best friends from James Amour, or the best friend, and he told the beautiful tales there in those novels, and I was really impacted by it, and so I said, okay, I'm going to check one of his books and buy one. When I saw that he had this book about Halloween, I said, okay, it's that one. So I got it, and this is the book, All Hallows by Christopher Golden, and this is I'm going to read from the back cover so you know what this book is about. And it's Halloween night, 1984, Coventry, Massachusetts, and two families are unraveling. The Barbosas have opened their annual Haunted Woods attraction in the forest behind the house they are about to lose. The Sweeneys, Sydney Sweeney, are fighting about alcoholism and infidelity on their own front lawn. Up the street, a high school senior is about to have the secret exposed, while down the street, the truth about Ruth and Zach Burgess turns out to be even more horrifying that the rumors are true. No, than the rumors ever were. My God, can't read. And all the while, four children who do not belong are walking door to door. Children in vintage costumes with faded eerie makeup, children who seem terrified, and those who beg the neighbor kids to hide them away, to keep them safe from the cunning man. But with the families falling apart and the community split to bitterness, who will save the children of Parmenter Road? Looks cool. Let's see. The next three books are from the same author, which, as I was investigating books reading in this period of time, I checked them, and they were from Macabre Inc., which is one of my favorite publishing houses of horror, and I got those three books from the same author. I know that the author died quite recently, either this year or last year, I don't know, but it's Halloween by Al Sarrantonio. This is the first book, beautiful cover. Then we've got Hallows Eve. No, Hallows Eve, yeah. And then Halloween Land. They are a trilogy of books. Not going to read two books because it may contain spoilers and I don't want them. So Halloween, from what I gather, it's a story about something like a god exists there in that period, and is not. It's the lord of that, and there was a killing, and the detective thinks that's the main culprit is this god. Not know how he did it, but whatever. And then there is like a end of world kind of scenario story and so on. Pretty good. I'm really looking forward to read this. Probably one of my first, so I can read the one, read another book, then read one, and so on. Then for Macabre Inc. as well, a couple of anthologies. The first one, well, only Macabre is only this anthology. The other are anthology, but not from Macabre Inc. This is Ronan Kelly, The Halloween Store and Other Tales of Hallows Eve. This is the first time I'm going to read something by this author. I do have a couple of novels by him, and I want really to taste what he brings to us. It's called The Halloween Store and Other Tales. Then by Alien Head Press, there is two books. This is the first book. The second book, the second anthology is set in Christmas. This one is in autumn. So it's called Literally Death, Tales of Halloween Hauntings. And it's an anthology with 19 stories, and we've got authors like Jonathan Memberry, Lisa Norton, Tim Wagner, Jeff Strand, Kate Cavendish, which I guess she has a couple of books in Macabre Inc. as well, and other authors here. It's a great introduction to Halloween and to other stories. I mean, if I like one story or more, I can buy the book from this author. Good, cool headers. Then another anthology. This one is, I guess, it's old, but it was reprinted. I guess the first time it was, yeah, I believe it's old, but I'm not sure. So don't quote me on this. I will probably check it out afterwards when I talk with you. So yeah, this is the book that I'm telling. It's October Screams by it is edited by Kenneth Kane. Not Kenneth Kane, is it exactly? And it has stories from let me check, Steve Rasnick Term, which I have another book for him, Ronald Malfi, Philip Fracassi, Gemma Moore, which I read a book by her this year, and Kellen Patrick Burke, and other authors within his, Brian Greene. Ooh. And so it's going to be a really fun. The book is quite interesting because it's like old. It has like it's mimic old stuff, old books. So that's why I probably said that this was an old book. I don't know, but interesting or not, I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying reading this kind of short stories amongst a longer novel. Now, 4 more books to go, 13 in total. Night in the Lonesome October by Richard Lehman. Richard Lehman is one of my favorite horror writers. Usually the main character is a girl, a woman, and there are sex scenes and stuff. This one is a bit different. The main protagonist is a man who was dumped by a woman and is roaming the streets alone, lonesome. And stuff is there in the streets. Let's see. I really enjoy everything Richard Lehman does. Even if I don't give a good rating, I know that I'm going to enjoy the book. Sometimes it's the ending, or sometimes it's the book itself. It doesn't catch my... But the way he writes, the easy way he writes, is pretty good. I really enjoy it. Now, one of my favorite horror writers of all time, apart with Bentley Little, it's without a doubt Tim Curran. And this is another novel by him. This one is by Weird House Press. The next book is also by Weird House Press, and they publish a couple of novels per year. They have special editions, and then they have the hardback editions and the paperback editions. Not all of them have all of these three stuff, but they usually have a special edition and then another for the public to read. And this one, it's Bloody Night by the author. This one is published by them, although it's one of those that Amazon prints. So the quality is from Amazon, like the majority of these books, to be honest. And this one is very interesting to me because it's again Tim Curran. I've not read anything by him since a couple of years, and it's one of those authors that I, when I'm feeling down, when I'm feeling a bit on a burn and in the not wanting to read, I usually get this author, or there are a couple of authors that I go get to read more because they really everything they do it's great. The next one is also, as I said, by Weird House Press. Sorry, Weird House, not Weird House. And this one is Tyler James, and it says Old Dark Houses, a Halloween novel. This one doesn't feature any paintings or any illustrations. No, it does. Ooh, it does. Let me show you. As you can see, black and white, of course, but again, it's more than I hoped. And I've got, I believe, the vast majority of their books, because they are great books with good prices. They delve a lot in Lovecraft and stuff, and so I have almost all of their books. This is one also. Is it published by Amazon? Yeah, it's printed in Poland by Amazon. You can see that. Great. It's not the best hardcover, but it serves purpose. It's good. I really enjoy this one. So yes, this is a tale, and it says, "Beware the dark tree." It's about a ghost that is coming to hunt because the house where he lives is going to be demolished, and so he comes. It's a pretty haunting novel, not slasher kind of novels. And this one is my Odd Duck. Can you call it that? Odd Duck. Because it's a beefy book, and it's one from author I've got most of his novels, but I have not read anything by him. I'm like that. These interest me when I bought it back then, and this is hardcover edition, quite old. It's from 1990. Yeah, and it's in great condition. The letters are fine. The book itself is fine, and the author is Mark Morris, the author of Toady. It says here, and this one is called Stitch. And now, what is this book about? About autumn and it's Halloween. It doesn't look Halloween, right? It says here, autumn term at Mayberry University, and the night draws, so does an atmosphere of menace. Then lecture, a previous quiet and withdrawn student, blossoms overnight into a forceful illusion, working leader of a charismatic student movement, the Crack, an organization with the power to shape and alter its followers' personalities, pushing them to the mindless heights of pleasure and pain. When in Erto, bright, vivacious, fresher, Stephanie Peel becomes one of his converts. Her worried roommate Annie enlists the support of fellow student Ian. With the campus in further beset by a known knife-wielding psychopath, Annie and Ian pit their strength against the force of evil and personified by Latcher and his infinitely more potent puppet master, Peregrine Stitch, voraciously sucking in new converts' body and soul. Again, this is set in autumn, that's why I'm going to read it. Not every book has to be Halloween related, and it's one of those books that I wanted to read for a while, and this is the justification for it. So, this one. So, 13 novels, all in all, nothing really... I guess it's a bit more than I'm usually used to read, although it's autumn, and my goal, not my goal, but my time, probably I will have more time, rain is coming, so the family doesn't leave the house so much. So yeah, so I'm going to have more time to read. And let me just show you everything in one pile. Oh my god, I'm crazy. I don't know if I will be able to read everything, but it's all of this. Quite heavy. My mind is going to get 5 kilos of information. So yeah, that's it from me. These are the books I'm going to read in this autumn. If you want to read something at the same time as me, please do tell me, and we'll by read something like that. I don't usually do that, but I'm open to it because it's always nice to talk back and forth about a novel. It's always interesting, and I don't usually do that with anyone. So yeah, would be good. So thank you all and have a great day.